Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show. I'm your guest host for today. My name is Dr. Nasser, and what do we have on tap for today? Well, it's part 4 of our debate series that was on the Vice channel, and it was talking about Black liberals versus Black conservatives. And we're going to get to that in the next few seconds, but before we do so, please subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. And above all, put your comments down below. Let us know what you think. Let us know what your thoughts are on our reaction video. And we're going to go to that right now. Part 4, Black liberals versus Black conservatives.
Democratic household.
Black Democratic.
I want to hear what your reactions are to Black voters being synonymous with the Democratic Party.
Well, here's the thing. The reason that Black voters are synonymous with the Democratic Party is because we've been on the receiving end of about 50 years of an onslaught of PR. It comes from our entertainers, it comes from our ball players, it comes from our singers, it comes from the Democratic politicians who, most of which are black and empty, but are being used to sell us this idea of the Democratic Party being the home of African Americans. And that is why we vote 90% Democratic. Now, let me tell you something. There is not another demographic in the world that votes 9 out of 10 votes for one party. Why is that still something to be?
Wow.
Why do we say that we are proud to vote 90% for Democrats? They don't have to do shit for us, okay? Because they know they're gonna get 90%.
You want to respond?
I think you're kind of essentializing just like Black people in general, because my perspective of, I didn't raise my hand, but like I did kind of grow up in a Black Democratic household. And like my family, I came here when I was 4 from the Democratic.
Was there anything else except a Black Democratic household? I mean, you said I grew up in a Black Democratic household. 90% vote goes that way. So it's a pretty good chance, honey, that you were part of the 90% of a Democratic household.
Republic of the Congo in Central Africa. And like, my mom didn't know Democratic or Republican. She just
knew policies.
She just knew policies, and she was watching the news and she was seeing what policies benefited her and her 3 children, because she was a single mother. So like, I think that's definitely essentializing the Black community. Just like you're saying you want it to be an individual, you're kind of not doing that by, essentializing this rhetoric.
But I have to use the example because 90% of us vote a certain way. So just in
Even
the
the
context of the
primary
conversation, I have to say, well, if 90% of us are voting a single way, like, why is that? And to me, that's a big driver of why.
Yeah, and it opens yourself up for brainwash for a community as well, because political leaders, they see you voting that much blindly like that, they're going to lie to you and do whatever because they know you're going to lie.
She just said policy. She just said
Hold on, yeah, from a policy standpoint, if you want to jump in, please.
It's not as much groupthink as people assume it is, as much as it's harm reduction. So one of the things that I often talk about, because I'm not Republican, I'm not Democrat, I'm just Black and I'm George.
Yes.
I talk about what we need to do in our communities, right? Local level, macro level, micro level, right? Because that's really where it starts. Voting isn't the beginning, voting isn't the ending, voting is just a tool in the toolbox. That whole toolbox includes us as Black people when we do get money and when we do get on and when we do get these things, going back and bringing other people along with us, not shitting on them because they couldn't pull themselves up by bootstraps. Again, like I always talk about that whole bootstrap argument because some people don't have boots. Yeah. So it's like when you're telling people that they can pull themselves out of somewhere, some people don't even have anything to pull from.
What is it about conservative politics that have convinced you that either the Republican Party or conservative politicians have your best interests in mind as Black people in America?
My biggest thing is this. I feel like a lot of conservatives, they just want to mind their business. They want to get their hands out of your pot and have you do what they did, figure themselves out. And I want to go back to student loans because I pay student loans, okay? I went to school for fashion marketing and merchandising, did not use the degree at all, it threw it away, and now I got all this money to pay back. So now every month I pay my bill on time, it reports to my credit, and because I paid on time, I got good credit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still able to utilize my credit to go further. So for me, I'm not asking for the government to make better policies for me to pay back my loans. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work my business, and when I got the money I need, I'm gonna pay it off. And then let me answer though. And then when I get the chance and I make that money for my kids, if my kids choose to go to college, me as a parent, that's my responsibility to make sure that I pay for their education, or I open the doors for entrepreneurship. So, because my kids don't have to go to college. If they wanna own businesses, they can own businesses. If they wanna get their education, they can get their education and work for their brother or sister who owns a business. So in my reality is this: how is it that the government keep having to pay back stuff that's our choice in the first place? Ain't nobody putting no gun in nobody head, making nobody go to school.
That's what capitalism's saying.
No, capitalism is not saying that. Capitalism is not saying that.
To be successful.
No, that's not true. Capitalism is not saying that. Capitalism is saying that you can
Right.
start a business through trade. If you want to go be a doctor or lawyer, you could do that. Or if you want to be an entrepreneur, you can do that. It's still a choice.
But it's a
regardless
field
of what,
a specific
regardless of
field
what,
of
it's
study,
a choice.
but it's
That
still
don't
a
mean that
choice.
because it's a
But
choice. But now we gotta pay our taxes for the fact that you wanted to go to school and now I gotta pay for that.
Let's let him respond.
We literally shame the people who don't go to college, the people who are. America does. Like, we literally shame it. We say, like, for you to be successful in this country, you have to get a degree. You have to speak English, right? Like, there's all these things that are told to us that, like, we have to do.
You know, buddy, let me just tell you something. Let me just educate you a little bit here. It is true that not everybody needs to get a college degree, but there are some professions in which a degree is needed. You need a degree to go to be a doctor. You need to go to school for that. You need a degree to go be an engineer. You need a degree to be a lawyer. You need a degree to go into nursing. You need a degree to go into the science fields, technology, mathematics, as I said, engineering. You need a degree for that. Now, you need a degree to go into teaching. Now, is it true that you need a degree to go into start your own business? No. But would a business administration degree help? It might, but that's not the end all to be all. And for him to say that everybody needs to be put into this box, that you need to have a degree, you need to go to school, you need to speak English. Yes, you definitely need to speak English, buddy. What the hell are you going to speak? Swahili? Japanese, Chinese? That's great as second, third, and fourth languages. You want to go into, you want to get a job with the United Nations, you want to get a job in the foreign services, maybe you want to get a job in government. Yes, being bilingual, trilingual is great. But I tell you what, try going to government and not being able to speak any English at all. How's that going to help? How's that going to work out? What are you going to have? Basically, people just all around you all the time, trying to help. I mean, you're going to get interpreters for you. I mean, that's a job. Maybe you don't have to go to school to become an interpreter. You could learn a language all on your own. You're not going to get a college and get a 4-year degree to learn a language. But yeah, I got to learn they're forcing English on me. Unbelievable.
To be successful in this country, if we don't do that, then you won't amount to anything.
Can I make
right?
a strong point? Because I agree with exactly what you said, is that we tell people in this country that they ain't shit if they don't have a college degree. And that is the biggest lie that we tell to people. And it is a huge lie that we tell to black kids, that they are nothing without a college degree. Because you want to talk about student loan debt. I got student loan debt, you got student loan debt, she got student loan debt, these people got student loan debt. So what we're doing is we're telling these kids that they are nothing unless they have this degree, which is virtually worthless, okay, at a certain point. What we need to start telling our youth to do is to build businesses. Like, you don't need a degree to do that. And we have a system that is putting these kids, putting this idea in their mind that they need this degree to be worth something and making them indebted to the government at the same time.
Until we change that,
we're gonna
the
start to
solution is
lose
entrepreneurship and capitalism.
We're gonna start to lose some of us within the next 15-ish minutes. So I want to move along. We're gonna go into overdrive here. Who here believes that the black vote should be courted more?
Oh, then yeah, of course.
So for those of you who didn't raise your hands, why did you not? Why do you not feel
I
that
don't
way?
trust when they start courting us. Like I'm always like, oh God, what do they want? What are they trying to do?
What's this? It's a
They
conspiracy
haven't really
theory. I
helped
like
us
it.
before.
Well, then what do you think black politicians are doing all the time, honey? Aren't they courting your vote? They're courting your vote to tune of 90%. 90% of the time, 90% of the black population is voting Democratic without even thinking. They don't even care if you court their vote. You know what they're doing? They know 90%'s in the bank. They're trying to get that extra 2 to 5%. That's who they're courting. They're not courting you. They know you're already, entrenched. They know you're already indoctrinated. They know the propaganda has already got you to vote. They can do no wrong. If they became Republican and said, we're actually Republican, we're Democratic Republicans, vote for us, you're still going to vote for them.
Or what do you want us to do now? And then we're going to be left with nothing.
A person has to serve the majority. So if we're talking high-level politics, no matter who you vote for, the majority of this country ain't me. It doesn't look like me. So it's never going to be anybody who's going to do anything that's going to make a movement in a needle on that type of level. Now, if you want to talk about micro-level politics and councilmen and who's sitting on the student board, who's sitting as the mayor, now we could talk about that all day.
I strongly agree with him when he says that we don't talk enough about local politics.
So that's where I'm at. That's why
I
I said like
cannot
courting
agree with
black
that.
vote.
That's absolutely
Like,
true.
you could do
I think, I think that the best thing that we can do in terms of thinking about advocacy is how do we set up certain policy and legislation to keep those people accountable, right? Like we need to be critical of both sides and thinking how people actually know what's on the ballot. Like what are the propositions that are happening? Because I don't think both sides are educating our people properly at all.
On the props.
That's true.
I would like to say, like, this whole conversation, listening to everybody, some things I do disagree with, some way out, but I agree with a lot of the entrepreneurship thing. Like, investment. I think that we all want the same things. Everybody wants a boot. We all want boots. Some of us want more boots than others. Yeah. And I think we need to figure out how do we get there together? How do we work together to get what we want, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
So, I think we have different ways of getting there.
No, we're good. That's it.
We're good.
Guys, I appreciate it. Everyone signed everything.
Oh, can we take a picture?
We can take a group picture.
Yeah, take a picture.
Anyways, basically just to go ahead and say that this thing here was just another great, debate between, Black Americans. I think it was pretty civil. There was no name calling, which was, pretty good. It did get contentious, at times, but that's going to, and people have very strong opinions. And like I said, this gentleman over here, if it was talking about just in terms of domination or whatever, going on, this gentleman here who's gay and conservative, I think he literally dominated the conversation. It really centered around a lot of stuff there. He was really, forcing himself in on the issues, and good for him. That's his personality. That's his strong suit. He wanted to get his point across, and he really did. This gentleman definitely did. Basically talking about that, America is imperialistic. Everything is basically, everyone is just, forced down. There's no way to rise to the top. The people at the top are millionaires and billionaires and make all kinds of decisions. Nobody in the country looks like him. It's just, there's nowhere to go. You're just struggling. You're oppressive. You're going to be, shackled and bound. And there's just no way you can make yourself of anything because everybody's against you. The system's against you, everything like that or whatever. This girl right here, strong entrepreneurial spirit, talking about, doing things for yourself, changing her mindset a little bit to do what she's doing right now, trying to help herself first and hopefully help her family and other members in the community. All in all, great debate. Like I said, gave a lot of people on both sides, some room to talk. There was some conciliatory things at the end. We're saying they agree with some of the things they talked about. Obviously, disagreement. So it was really nice to react, see how Black Americans feel in terms of their political, their social, questions and those kind of things. I really, liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And that's pretty much it, folks. Thanks for watching. It was part 4 of the Vice Debates, and you've been watching the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show. I've been your guest host. My name is Dr. Nasser. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, like, share, and follow us. Put your comments down below. Really like to know what you thought. And my final thought is, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. We'll see you again next time, folks. Take care and stay safe.